reaction is pouring in after a Christian teacher wins a $575,000 settlement from a school district near Richmond, Virginia. Peter Vlaming refused to use male pronouns to refer to a female student who believed that she was a boy. Instead, he called the student by her preferred new name. Still, in 2018, he was dismissed by the West Point School Board. Vlaming's lawsuit initially was thrown out by a lower court before being reconsidered by the state Supreme Court. Lions Defending Freedom worked on the case after the state Supreme Court victory. In it, it said in part, quote, Peter wasn't fired for something he said. He was fired for something he couldn't say. And for more on this case, let's bring in Caleb Dalton, Senior Counsel at Alliance Defending Freedom. Caleb, good to be with you today. So what more can you tell us about this case? And really, what was at the heart of it here?
Tracy, thanks so much for having me. At the heart of this case was whether or not the government can compel conformity to an ideology, can compel a teacher to lie. And we're thankful that when the Virginia Supreme Court heard this case, they said the answer to that is a resounding no. In the United States of America and the Commonwealth of Virginia, you cannot compel a teacher to tell a lie. And everybody, whether or not you agree with Peter's position on this, should applaud that ruling because this protects the right of free speech for all Americans.
Yeah, and Caleb, Peter sued the school district for being fired, but the lower court originally dismissed the case, and then he appealed, and it went on to the state Supreme Court. What was the reasoning why the lower court didn't take up the case in the first place?
Well, the lower court actually didn't give any rationale for its opinion. It dismissed the case from the bench, which was astounding, especially given the importance of free speech and free exercise in the Commonwealth of Virginia. The Commonwealth here had a free exercise clause that was the model for the country before our First Amendment was even passed. And we're thankful that that ruling was so strong. We think it should be a model for other states and even the federal government around the country, because the First Amendment is worth protecting. Free speech is for everyone, whether or not you agree with Peter or not. You shouldn't agree with a totalitarian ideology that says your neighbor, via the power of the government, gets to tell you what you can and can't say. So we're thankful that that freedom is protected for him and for teachers around the Commonwealth.
And let's talk about your client now, Peter. You know, it's been quite some time since that first case was filed. What has he been doing in between, and how is he doing now? What was his reaction to this ruling?
Well, he's thankful that he can move on to a new chapter in his life. The last 6 years have been tough. He was ostracized from the teaching community. He was a stellar teacher, beloved in his community. He coached the soccer team. He drove the school bus, contributed to his school community there, and was ostracized from what he loved doing. So it's been tough, but he's excited now to be able to stand up for the rights of everyone, of other teachers who may not have been in the same position as him, or maybe who are considering whether or not they can stand up and do the right thing in a tough situation. He did that. He paid a high penalty at first, but we're thankful that he at least got some recompense for it in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a whole lot of time left, but what's next for him, and also next for the school district?
Yeah, so I'll hit the school district first. The school district has adopted new policies that the governor of Virginia's task force put forth. So the policies have already been changed to protect other teachers in the school district. We're thankful for that. And for Peter, he's now working for a French Christian book publishing company, and trying to provide for his family that way. Because he was ostracized, there was true, real consequences from what the school board did to him and his family.
Oh, we're going to leave right there. Caleb, thank you so much for coming on, explaining all this to us. We really appreciate it. God bless.
Thanks, Tracy.